All right, so hey everyone, it's me, Young Falcon, back at it again with a brand new video, and today we're going to be discussing the Ninjala beta, which was quite the adventure. Joining me today, of course, we have Echozu.
Hi.
And well, we played a considerable amount of time, a good like 4 to 3 hours or so of the beta, and we have a lot to discuss. Thoughts, opinions, and error codes. Error codes aplenty. A lot of those. We had a lot of those. So yeah. let's kick it off with I guess our issues. Did you have any gripes with the way the beta ran in the first couple hours?
I mean, the first 2 sessions were kind of rough.
Yeah. They're pretty bad. The error codes, it's a pretty big meme, but the error codes are really rough out the gate.
Yeah.
Thankfully, never disconnected during a match. I never had that issue, but definitely like after matches or like right when the match ended or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Which was really annoying. It even happened at the very end, which sucks because like we want to see the scoreboard, but you know, whatever.
It really went hard that last match. It's not fair.
Yeah, you put in all that work and then boom, game over. But overall, had a couple issues with the overall beta. Thankfully, the communication was crystal clear from the Ninjala devs. They were always on Twitter updating, increasing beta times.
Oh yeah, they were great.
Yeah, and they even extended a couple slots by a couple hours for us, which is all you can ask for, right? No one was being unreasonable, right? They really listened to the fans and whatnot. And that's great. That out the gate, that's impressive, especially when it's a Japanese developer, that they're talking to their fans like that and they're keeping up with us and they're being very transparent about the issues and the server overloads and all that jazz. That is very impressive to me, and I gotta give my hats off to them for that, because as you see with betas like Guilty Gear Strive, which I didn't even do a video on because it was just so bad, it was so unplayable. I actually just deleted all my footage for the Strive beta because it was taking like 60 gigs of space.
Oh, really?
And it was just so, like, I just uploaded my matches like I'm done, right? It was just, there was nothing to talk about because it just didn't work. And they're going to add rollback netcode. You get the gist. Thankfully, Ninjala doesn't have that issue. The netcode, for the most part, was pretty okay. There were a couple of Nintendo Switch issues because Nintendo Switch issues exist, but we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to the actual like gameplay and stuff. But overall, developer communication and stuff was very good, so pretty good stuff on their behalf. And again, extending the beta and staggering it and doing everything they can to make it run smoothly, and just so people can play. Like, they went from stress testing to okay, give people a chance to play, like with the staggering and stuff. That was really good stuff. So hats off to Gung Ho, is it? I think those are the devs. Yeah, hats off to them for doing a really good job on that front. So with that out of the way, all the developmental stuff, let's talk about the actual game. How does Ninjala play? How does it look? All that jazz. Anything you want to throw in there on looks wise? Like, how does it look to you, and the gameplay and all that stuff? Especially, you're a pretty avid Splatoon 2 player, so.
I mean, as far as looks go, it's pretty cute. I like the art style. It's really interesting visually.
Yeah, for sure.
There are a lot of... I'm assuming there are going to be a lot of customization options in the full game.
Yeah, I didn't get to toy around with those too much because I was trying to get as much footage as I could.
Yeah, I like what we had to choose from in the beta, though. Pretty cool.
Felt very fleshed out for a closed / open beta. I really enjoyed the just, it seems like there's a lot of customization. There's gonna be ninja cards, which I guess is like stuff to, it's like perks, right? Like Call of Duty perks or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Or I guess what do you guys Splatoon call it? Equipment, right? Like the
abilities.
Yeah, equipment abilities. So that's pretty cool. I really digs the the various weapon colors and stuff. That's always nice.
Yeah.
It seems like the weapon colors will be like a one-time use, so maybe they'll have different special abilities you can mix and match. I think that's what they were going for there, so that's going to be really interesting. Like, if you could have spider web, but with the sword baton weapon and stuff like that, like mix and match the different abilities of each weapon because of the ninja gum. I think that would be a really cool mechanic, and grinding for those will actually be pretty fun.
I don't know why they make the colors single use. That was kind of odd to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's so you can mix and match abilities, but I don't think the colors themselves will be single use. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so we'll have to see when it comes out, but I enjoyed that a lot. I'm glad they added a training area so you could get accustomed to the controls and stuff. That was really cool.
Speaking of the training area, though, from the start, I mean, the mechanics seemed kind of confusing. Once you actually play the game, it starts to make more sense. But from the beginning, I felt kind of lost. And the training area and the tutorial or whatever, it just didn't seem like it.
The tutorial was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
I have never mashed A so quickly in my life. I'm gonna just completely be honest. I mashed A so fast just to figure out myself, because it was just a wall of text. I could not be bothered. Like, I tried reading through it, and it was like the most basic stuff that they already told you preemptively in the gameplay video, right?
Well, yeah, but some people didn't watch the game.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like they tell you this stuff in the gameplay video out the gate, like in the beginning of the game. So you skip that, right? And then you get to the actual game, and it's just a wall of text telling you the exact same stuff, you know. Nothing about the parry mechanic, nothing about dodging, nothing about, like, how ninja gum is used, the different types of ninja gum. None of that was there. Or how the ninja gum is used to, like, you could float with it if you hold ZL long enough, like in midair and stuff. None of that.
I think that was in the tutorial. I mean, you read the cards, but it's like you don't really have... The tutorial doesn't really give you anything to actually put the abilities to use, so you don't really know how to use them.
Right, exactly.
Unless you go into battle first.
Right. It just seemed a little rushed. I hope there's a little bit more fleshing out when the full game comes out. Again, you know, I know it's beta or whatnot, but, you know, even Strive did a really good job with their tutorial. I just keep comparing it to Strive because that's the most recent closed beta we've had, but compared to the both of them, I really do wish that you know, Ninjala just did a little bit better job of helping, especially because it's a more kid-oriented game. Like, I don't see how kids are going to be able to hop into this out the gate. It seems really rough for the younger audience. I could see the older, or like teens and forward, getting a hang of the controls and stuff, but it seems kind of rough, like without a clear tutorial. So hopefully they do a little bit engaging with that. It felt very like Smash-esque, if that makes sense. You know, Smash games just kind of throw you in there, no tutorial. They just kind of assume you've played Smash games in the past. It'd be kind of nice if there was more things to alleviate some of the frustration that new players are gonna have, especially with a game like Ninjala where there's so much going on. But again, closed beta stuff. I'm sure they're gonna, you know, convey that during the full release. It's just during someone's first impressions of a game, which is like everything, that's going to be something that sticks out in everyone's head. Right, this game was a chaotic mess, probably played 1 or 2 matches, got a bunch of error codes, I never want to touch Ninjala again, right? And that's something they got to be very wary of, especially with the fan base as fickle as Nintendo fans.
Well, but the game's also going to be free to play, so...
It is, and that's great, but you know, it's still Nintendo fans at the end of the day. ARMS could be free to play and they'll let it flop, you know what I'm saying?
And it was free to play. And they did let it.
Anyways, moving forward. Let's talk about tutorial and stuff out the way. The game's beta only had 1 map, with technically 2 if we count the city map that was in training mode, which was a ton of fun.
Right, it was in training mode. I don't know why they didn't have that map in rotation.
Yeah,
it fun.
I'm not sure if it's like completely ready or not yet, or maybe it's the versus mode only. I don't know, but hopefully there'll be a couple more maps on launch. I'm hoping for at least 4 to 5. They've only shown like 2. I don't want to fight on the same 2 maps until like June. That's gonna get really old really fast. So I'm begging them, even if it cost them a delay, I don't care. Just please, just give us more than 2 maps off grip. Because if there's only 2 maps on launch, I'm gonna be so slumped, bro.
I don't think they'd do that.
I don't think so. They seem to be pretty good, but hopefully they add a couple more maps. But sorry, regardless, 1 map in the beta. It was the W&A Battle Arena. Pretty simple stuff. Just a centerpiece, a outside ring, a bunch of walls to run up on, a couple drones scattered about. Pretty easy stuff. Didn't really let you use the full substitution gauge to the best of your abilities, more like getting accustomed to combat. I thought the map design was really good here, especially for free for all. There is a lot of space for you to run away. There's a lot of space for you to get away from opponents, not get hit. It never felt, at the beginning it felt a bit chaotic, but it never feels too claustrophobic or chaotic unless you're throwing yourself into the action. And upon learning the mechanics, the game, despite being a pretty mash heavy thing, has a lot of instances where you're allowed to disengage and fully be able to move away from a lot of heavy positions or getting attacked a lot. And I think that's very important for a game that's as claustrophobic and as a cluster as a game like Ninjala, especially during free-for-all, as we've seen. I'm sure you've seen the clips. We're talking people are clashing, there's a bubble that comes around so players can't interfere with the clash. Very good mechanic, by the way. I absolutely love how, when you're in a parry fight with someone, when you're on a one-on-one duel basically with someone that pulled up on you, it pushes everyone away. They're gonna fight amongst each other, but they can't sneak in and infiltrate you. I like that aspect of it. Unfortunately, that can still needs some working out because people can kind of sneak in there. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, it's like after you finish a fight or whatever, someone could come on in and pick up the scraps.
Yeah, it gets pretty rough.
It gets a little annoying.
I've definitely cleaned up because of that, but I like how they still find ways to alleviate these issues. And the game overall, I think we can both agree on this. It's super geared towards 4v4. I don't know what they're trying to do with this free-for-all thing. It feels so obvious that it's a 4v4 fighter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they call it a battle royale, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling it, but I
can't wait to team. You know what I'm saying?
I am really excited for 4v4
Yeah.
because free-for-all was...
It's a cluster. There's things we can't say on this channel, but it was a cluster, dude. It was just a mess. Like,
free-for-all was kind of toxic.
It was toxic. I'm not gonna lie. My matches towards the end were watching everyone pick each other off, running in with ult, and then getting a 4-piece, and then dipping. And you win, because you get E-pawns.
Bruh. It was either everyone clustered together and just complete chaos, or it would be two people fighting and then someone else would swoop in and just get the kill
Pick
on
up
the
the
person
scraps.
that survived.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
Or my favorite, when they both run out of ninja gum and you pick them both off because you see them their health bar dwindling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Overall, there was 3 weapon types in the game. There was a ninja baton, a yo-yo ball, and a hammer, correct? Or no, there was 4, right? There was a drill.
The drill.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So there's 4 weapon types in the game. All of them have their own unique abilities and gum attributes. So, for example, your hammer, what does the gum do for that one?
So let's see. It has it has the spider webs.
Right,
When you shoot the gum, it comes out
That's
as spider webs or whatever.
Right,
People
yeah.
can get caught in it.
Okay. And then you have your Y button, which was an armor break, I believe, or weapon break, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I thought all of the weapons had that, but I guess not. Maybe
We all
just
do
the
have
hammer.
weapon breaks, but it's just different ways of going about it. So in mine, I use this baton a lot, so I just had this typical straight lance piercer kind of thing. Overall, pretty good stuff. There was the drill. You could go underneath the ground and burrow, and then pop up with a hit move, which was pretty cool. Did you use
the drill?
I used the drill in the beginning. Yeah.
No, I didn't try it. So.
And you get the gist, though. There was a couple of things like that, each with their own mega special ability. Kind of like Overwatch ults or whatever. So you have your tornado, with the baton. You have your what was it? A sack, a gum sack. The hammer thing.
Yeah.
You just pick them up, swing them around, and slam them to the floor. That was pretty cool.
It's just an instant kill.
Yeah, it's just an instant kill.
But yeah.
And then you get the gist. There's a bunch of cool abilities you could kind of mix and match. And again, free for all, it's kind of fun to just go in there and have some chaos. But in teams, it's going to be really fun to coordinate these abilities. Know when to call out, when to shoot the ninja gum to kind of slow opponents down. Have someone going with an ult, all that jazz. Looking very, very, very much forward to how all of this is going to play out. Some ults are definitely better than others. Off grips, the tornado and the yo-yo ball have very busted ults, it seems, especially the yo-yo ball and free-for-all, at least, where you can pick off an entire group of people, and it's just this huge, massive explosion that just takes up it feels like the entire field.
Oh, man.
If you shoot in the center, it takes up that entire centerpiece, and that's
yeah,
that's
on that
rough.
small map, that thing takes up way too much space.
Right, yeah. Now, on other maps, not too bad, but that map in particular, it took up the entire centerpiece, and if you just so much as sneeze around the area of effect, you're dead, basically.
Well, actually, we don't even know about other maps because we only had the one. But
yeah, well, I'm just using a reference point. The city map is a bit bigger, you know, in terms of places to go and all that. But you get the gist. That ult is busted. The tornado ult, when you go in there, anyone like slightly below, like, I guess a little bit of high health, if you just get touched twice, it's an instant kill. It's pretty good. The hammer ult isn't too bad because yes, it's an instant kill, but it doesn't do shockwave damage or anything. It's pretty balanced in that regard. And then you have the drill ult, which was awful. It sucks. It just doesn't work.
Well, what was that one?
The drill ult is like this sword you get, and it can put people in gum state, and it's a 2-hit for a free E-pawn.
I've seen that one before.
But you can still parry it.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Uh-huh.
So they would, and it takes a while to pull out, obviously. So they pull out ult, start swinging, I parry, they lose. It's genuinely one of the worst ults in the game. And free for all, of course. Now, yes, it does shoot out a cool shockwave that, you know, could slow down opponents and gum them and all that, but it just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. Yeah. Especially the cluster fire of everything going on. So some ults just feel a bit unbalanced. Hopefully they'll smooth that out with time, but in the meantime, we'll see what they have to do with that. But the core crux of the gameplay basically goes as follows. It's a rock paper scissors-esque game, right? You go in for a bunch of attacks with ZR. You have a couple like attacks you can switch between with tilts from left to right, you know, going left to right. You have up and down. Down is like your area of effect move. It's the one that swings around you, if I'm not mistaken. You press down on the stick and then ZR.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an AoE. Think of it like smash attacks, but the entire game, right? Everything is very slow and deliberate. Kind of like For Honor, if anyone remembers that game. And then if you parry someone's attack, you go into a rock, paper, scissors guessing game where you either go from left to right or up and down. And it's pretty rough. Everyone guesses wrong. You guys need to learn how to play RPS, but those are I need to learn how to play rock paper scissors too. But anyways, those are just the crux of the gameplay. Now a lot of people don't like the rock paper scissors mechanic. I was inclined to agree until I learned a little bit of tech, where if you dodge with the L button at the right time, you won't have to worry about that at all. A lot of people use up and down to like mix up their opponent or whatever, but up and down still will end up in a clash if they go left to right for some reason, as I've realized upon testing. Maybe they were just guessing right, and they kept guessing up when I was guessing up or whatever, just coincidentally, which I don't think would make sense considering we were all pressing left and right, but whatever. Regardless, the crux of the gameplay there is if you get into a parry situation, say you're low on health or whatever, and you want to get out of there, you could press down or up and use the dodge with the ninja gum to get out of there, and then they're going to swing wildly and miss completely 9 out of 10 times, and then you could go for the punish. I only found this out towards the end, and like finding gameplay is going to be kind of hard, but just take my word for it. I pulled it off a couple of times. I think I have a couple of clips. I still get bodied because there's like a bunch of enemies on me, but like when you get the gist of it and you're in those one-on-one encounters, it's going to be like the matter of life and death, at least in the early meta of Ninjala. Like that's something you guys definitely want to pay attention to, and especially if you just want to, you know, get out of there quickly, right? You see him whiff completely because it's a huge wind up on the parry, and it creates a huge bubble and stuff, and it's a good way for you to sneak away and have your teammates, for example, like when the full game comes out, to go in and rush that guy while you get out of there to recover health or find a drone or something. I love the amount of ways they boost your ego a little bit, right? If you're playing really nice and you're in first, and you know you're in first because you're getting E-pawns and stuff, you get that secured victory because you get 1,000 points basically because you're real nice at, you know, getting E-pawns. So I like that aspect of if you get first, you still have a guaranteed like top 3. it's really hard for you to be in a position where you can't get top 3, and it's all thanks to the mechanics and stuff we talked about earlier, and just playing well, right? If you are more on the outskirts kind of guy, you got a couple epons here and there, but you got a lot of the drones to level up and keep your weapon pretty high and all that jazz. And hope you get the new the stronger ninja gum and stuff. You also have a chance at the end of the game to get a drone master complete or whatever, and you get a couple points to boost in that too to help you boost yourself up on the scoreboard. So there is a couple of tiny, I guess, RNG elements, I guess you would call them, things, but it's something you just keep in mind as you rack up kills and epons and drones, and try to play mindfully, right? And I really like that part of the game where it really encourages you to enjoy and explore the entire map rather than just W keying and mashing ZR, right? And just fighting. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do in the game to mix and match your playtime. I thought all the mechanics here worked out pretty well despite some garbage hit detection because of Nintendo Switch netcode. I will not blame the developers for that. I think it's just the Nintendo Switch and online being absolutely garbage. It's like that in Smash. It's like that in Splatoon. I'm not going to get on the Ninjala devs. It's just, I know this game will eventually be ported to other consoles like Xbox and PS4 and PC, hopefully down the line, knowing Gung-Ho and their type of expertise with that stuff. So I'm not gonna cut them any flack for that. Like it's just Nintendo Switch stuff. But hopefully Nintendo gets their stuff together, starts doing more stronger servers. But in the meantime, I feel like the netcode for the most part worked out well, and it was a pretty fun time. I had a pretty good time playing the game. Had a lot of great kills and a little bit of frustration in the early game, but towards the end I just had a blast playing it. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
Game good.
Game good. I thought it was bad earlier, bro. You were flip flopping.
Yeah, I mean, that was when I didn't understand.
Oh, okay. So now that you have the secret sauce, it's different now.
Of course.
Of course. All right. Well, basically, yeah, the Ninjala beta towards the last session went off without a hitch. Didn't have any issues. Didn't have any error codes. The usual stuff. It went off pretty well. The early game was pretty rough. A lot of error codes of this sort. It's just the nature of things. The gameplay is pretty good. I do enjoy the battle royale aspect. I do wish it was just a little bit less chaotic. I don't know what they could do to ease it down. It does feel like an anime fighter at points where it's just like there's just so much going on. I don't know if they have to increase the time to kill or something, like give you more health. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just you die way too fast. Because sometimes I just felt like I get into a situation and I like sneeze and I'm like, oh gosh, I got eponned or I got KO'd. And it's like I get hit by like an attack that barely was coming near me,
Oh yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to get out of situations like that. It's like you might lose one rock, paper, scissors exchange or whatever and just get completely KO'd. Especially early game.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of, what's it called, S power or whatever to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like the meter's so small, you run out of it so easily, so you can't dodge or anything. You just have to eat it.
Yeah, and then you just get into those situations where you just don't have a lot to work with, and it is pretty frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. It does get a little bit aggravating just knowing there's just times where you literally can't do anything. Or you'll spawn in and everyone's kind of on top of you, or you don't have a lot of places to go, so you have no choice but to fight or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, well, I don't even have the gum to work with this, or I don't have the abilities or equipment or whatever it may be. So it gets a little bit old in that regard, or frustrating in that regard. But nevertheless, again, open beta, they're still smoothing things out. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more polished and cleaned up. I also, we'll just have to see what they do. Customization, however, and I guess the presentation of the game, I thought it was a really gorgeous game. It ran pretty well. Mm-hmm. It looks really good, and the amount of customizable options they have are just insane out the gate. Lots of clothing options, music, which was really hype. There's a lot of good tracks, surprisingly a lot of good tracks in there.
Oh yeah, I need the soundtrack.
Yeah, I need the soundtrack ASAP. They got some actually like genuinely good rap, which was absolutely mind-blowing. Like it was actually good rap music. And on top of that, you know, having like all these different tracks, they do a really good job of mixing it up throughout the game, like depending on who's winning and what they're doing in the matches or whatever, or just depending on who starts or whatever it may be. They rotate through everyone's chosen tracks, you know, throughout the game. So if you choose a track, you pretty much have a guarantee of listening to it as the course of the match kind of dynamically moves and shifts with how everyone's playing. And I love that aspect of it. It adds this really cool diegetic feel to it. It really makes you feel like you're in this battle royale arena, you know, with a bunch of your ninja friends. Like you're actually competing in this sports event rather than just, you know, typical fighting game stuff. Like they put a lot of effort into it. I love the stadium screens and them showing, you know, the banner and the announcer say, yo, look up at the leaderboard, and you look up and it's you. Like that's really tough. All that stuff is great. There's the you know, announcements, the UI, the endless amounts of customization. Shout outs to all the hair options and faces and clothing options and all that. It just looks really good. And of course the voice types and stuff, being able to swap between all of them is nice. So it's just a lot of endless, what feels like endless customization. A little bit worrying because I know Gung Ho loves microtransactions, so that's scary to think about. But I hear they're not going to go down that road. I heard they're going to try their best to make it, you know, free to play. And hopefully they kind of commit to that, because it would be a shame to get like some really dope music tracks locked behind like microtransactions or having to grind, you know, for ninja currency or whatever. So
but there is gonna be a battle pass.
Oh, that is correct. Yes, there will be a Ninjala battle pass, and I definitely will buy that out the gate. I think that's gonna be a really sick battle pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the battle pass will be purchasable.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me, anyways.
Well, yeah, if it's a battle pass, I'm fine. That's my thing. I love battle passes. That is the best thing you can do in any game. As long as your battle pass is good and has stuff I actually want to like work towards, I'm there. Like for example, Modern Warfare right now, I could care less for its battle pass. I don't really care for it. It's whatever, right? It's just background noise for me. Fortnite's battle pass, I'll grind for that, you know. As long as you give me a way to like purchase it and basically I get to keep it forever as long as I keep playing your game, like give me enough currency to keep buying that battle pass. If that's the route they go down, then fine. However, if they do like you have to pay $10 every 40 days or whatever, that's gonna get a little bit weird, a little bit sus. So I hope they have that economy kind of figured out out the gate, and they learn from like Modern Warfare and Fortnite and I believe Apex Legends and stuff, and they take that system where you just have to pay you know, was it like $9.99 for that season pass, and as long as you grind the game, you can keep buying the season passes if that's all you care about, and you don't care about like buying extra skins. And then all the extra skins and stuff are the side cosmetics, you know, like how Fortnite and all those other games do it. That's the hope. This is a Japanese company we're talking about, and they like their money at the end of the day. So I highly doubt that's gonna happen. I'm gonna just be honest, but that's the hope that I really want Ninjala to go with. All in all, very strong start. I like how private lobbies are already a thing. We saw that in the menu. That's going to be great. That means esports and stuff. I'm very much looking forward to see how the competitive scene for this game evolves. I like how team battles are going to be there out the gate. The core battle royale mode's pretty fun. As long as we get new maps, new weapons, all that jazz, and a constant stream of updates on a somewhat weekly, or not weekly, but you know, somewhat updated occurrence. They keep us in the loop and don't just go dark. We're gonna have a pretty good game on our hands. We're gonna have like a very solid Nintendo product, or a Nintendo exclusive, like something that could genuinely compete with some of Nintendo's own IPs. In all honesty, Splatoon.
You can say it. It's okay.
I'm not paying $60 for a game that old. I'm sorry. Ninjala is free, bro. But yeah, I really am looking forward to Ninjala's full release. Unfortunately, I will not be playing it day one because of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's just the nature of things. I might squeeze in a couple games, but that game's gonna steal my soul. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Any closing thoughts?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's something I'm really excited for, dude. I hope it's good. Yeah. I really do. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Ninjala quick beta discussion there. It was a really cool game. Highly recommend you guys pick it up and check it out and all that. Very much looking forward to the game. I really hope you guys give it a shot when it releases sometime May 29th, or is it 28th or 29th? I can't remember. I want to say it's the
28th.
I want it. Okay, it might be the 28th, but I really hope you guys are gonna pick it up when it drops. And I hope to see you guys doing Nippons and all that jazz when it releases. It's gonna be a good time. I'm signing out. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Make sure you guys get lots of sleep and stuff. Don't stay up late for this beta like I did. Not a good idea, especially because they delayed it last minute. Kind of hurt my soul a little bit. Could have got a couple like hours in. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.